You know, here at CEREVITY, we spend our days working with people at the absolute top of their game. We're talking about CEOs, founders, senior partners at law firms, and there's this strange paradox we see over and over again that comes with all that success. It's this deep-seated anxiety that isn't about a lack of confidence. Actually, it's a direct result of having built something so significant that the idea of it even stumbling becomes, well, almost psychologically unbearable. Think about it. Rationally, you know you're successful. The performance reviews are stellar, the deals are getting done, but it's that one tiny piece of constructive feedback, right? That one missed target, that's the thing that just plays on a relentless loop in your head. Now, this isn't a sign of weakness, not at all. It's actually a sign that you're operating in a world where the stakes are incredibly high. So, this is what we call the high achievers paradox. It's this pattern where the more you accomplish, the more catastrophic a single failure starts to feel. You'd think success would relieve the pressure, but instead, it just amplifies it. And I want to be really clear, this is a common experience we see with our clients. It's not some personal failing. Does that feeling kind of hit home for you? That little bit of dread in the pit of your stomach? That feeling that it could all just vanish with one wrong move? Well, if it does, you are so far from alone. In fact, when you look at the numbers, they're pretty staggering. Get this. Nearly 7 out of every 10 high-earning professionals share this exact fear. So the most important thing to take away here is that this isn't some irrational thought you're having all by yourself. It's a massive population-level pattern for people operating at your level. And then you pile this on top. Over 80% of people deal with imposter syndrome. For high achievers, that gap between the confident mask you have to wear in the boardroom and the private doubt you feel inside, man, it can be absolutely exhausting. So why? Why does this happen? Well, it's definitely not about lacking resilience. The psychology behind this anxiety is actually rooted in the very same traits that made you so successful in the first place. Okay, so the core thing we see in our practice is what we call identity fusion with achievement. It's when your entire sense of self, your feeling of worth, gets completely tangled up with your professional output. So a bad quarter doesn't just mean lost revenue. No, it feels like a personal indictment. A failure at work feels like you yourself are a failure. And this just gets supercharged by everything else. I mean, every promotion just raises the stakes, right? Your mind gets stuck in these catastrophic loops. You imagine one bad presentation somehow leading to a total career collapse. And of course, the financial pressure of maintaining a certain lifestyle for your family, that makes the anxiety feel anything but abstract. It's very, very real. Now, this internal anxiety, it doesn't just stay internal. It has tangible, real-world professional costs. It starts to show up in behaviors that, ironically, can end up limiting the very success you're trying so hard to protect. We see this really predictable pattern emerge. You might start avoiding those high-visibility projects because the exposure just feels way too risky. Or you start to overwork, not because you're ambitious, but because you're terrified. This can lead to total decision paralysis, and then, when you finally get home, an emotional shutdown because you have absolutely nothing left to give. So, what do? What's the way out of this? This isn't about just managing stress. Our clinicians take a really strategic approach, one that's designed for the realities of a high-stakes career. I mean, seriously, telling a top attorney to just stop being a perfectionist is like telling a surgeon to be less detail-oriented. It's completely useless advice. Our work isn't about caring less. It's about learning to separate that healthy, ambitious drive from the anxiety-driven compulsion that just leads straight to burnout. We use these really effective, evidence-based approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's basically a way of identifying and changing these unhelpful thought patterns. The goal isn't to just slap on a layer of forced positivity, not at all. The goal is to cultivate accurate thinking. We help you systematically look at those catastrophic thoughts, test them against reality, and actually restructure the patterns that are keeping you trapped. Look, the stakes of your career are real. We're not going to pretend they aren't. Our job is to give you the psychological toolkit to perform under those stakes without your nervous system treating every single challenge like a threat to your entire existence. You shouldn't have to choose between your ambition and your own well-being. If this whole pattern feels familiar, and if you're ready to stop letting anxiety run the show, we're here to help. Reach out to us at CEREVITY and book your first session.